God, Bruce Willis was the bomb in Die Hard. Hello, Potato, Spin the Leak here. There's glare coming through my window right now, so I think this is a good point, especially since we just got the kiln from the rotted greatwood, or rotted glitchwood would be a better word for it. I decided that I'd go ahead and take a moment to do one of my item episodes. Now, the way I'm going to be doing this, you've noticed how I didn't do what I did with Bloodborne if you've been here since the start of the channel. And that's take a moment and go over literally every little detail about every item with you and explain all their uses. I've been holding off on that so that I can knock it all out in like one big episode where kind of just doing our thing. So this is where I'm kind of going to explain some of the mechanics and stuff like that.
Fret not, fret not. My feet are here firmly planted.
You have no feet.
For I am a lord, and this is my throne.
You're a grub on a fucking, like, lazy boy is what you are. Let's give him the transponding kiln. With this, we can transmute boss souls into weapons. So we can get 2 weapons or rings or maybe even miracles of pyromancies from this.
Oh, belike it is a transposing kiln in thy possession.
Indeed it is, if that's English.
Days, but methinks it shall suffice.
Hey man, what works, works.
Bring to me a twisted soul.
I've got 2 for you.
Transposition is the art of extracting and coalescing the essence of a soul. In transposing a twisted soul, its true power transferred to thee. Thy purpose is to seek lords and slay them. What's to fear in a little transposition now?
Absolutely nothing, but sometimes these will cost a good bit of souls. Now, we have a few options. We could get these demon weapons. Actually, no, we can't because we don't have the demon soul. We'll get the demon soul later. Actually, yeah, no, we need the soul of a demon. We got, I think we got a red gem or a fire gem instead of that. So we have access to the Hollow Greatsword, Vort's Great Hammer, Aster's Spear, and Pontiff's Left Eye. That ring is pretty good. If you're starting off and like looking for a decent damage weapon with a little bit of range and moves pretty quickly, I definitely recommend the Hollow Greatsword. It's got the kick of a greatsword, the speed of a one-handed short sword or long sword. As for stuff we would actually use, that spear does look pretty legit. But this is actually kind of a nice area to point out a little bit of the menu. To the far right, you see my stats and level. You can see the weapon stats and take a moment and go ahead and read over them. At the bottom, you'll see a couple of icons and numbers. Basically, that's your strength, your dexterity, your intelligence, and your faith. The letters above them is how much that single ability goes into scaling for the damage of the weapon. And the number below is the requirement to be able to use it. So, D in strength, C in dexterity. I don't think any other greatsword or ultra greatsword in this game has that level of dexterity scaling for this weapon. Most of them are strength. If it has higher dexterity, it won't be a C ranking. It'll be a D at the most. But I am going to go ahead and get this because I always like playing around with it, and I'm going to go ahead and get the ring. Now, let's take a moment, go back to this. You can see it's guard absorption, which is basically you're able to do slight guards with it. And it'll absorb just that small amount of damage. That's nothing when you compare it to your actual resistances. The stability is basically how easily the attack can be parried, if someone can like stop your attack by attacking you during it. Above the attribute points and requirements, you'll see the additional effects. You have bleed, poison, and frost. You can add additional ones by using gems. But basically, the number that would be next to it is how much of that will go into the bar of making that a status effect. So if you hit them, will it fill the bar by 20 points? Will it fill it by 100? Will it fill it by 15? You know, stuff like that.
Now, do not be away overlong.
Alright. Let's go ahead. I don't really want to level up just yet, because we got some more stuff to talk about. I could talk to her. But we're actually going to walk over here to Andre.
What neat.
Now, you see me reinforce my claymore. Basically, you're taking different levels of Titanite displayed right above the items on the left hand. underneath the name. It'll tell you the amount of Titanite, slabs, shards, twinkling Titanite, scales, whatever you need to upgrade that one weapon. I think the Hollow Greatsword levels up off scales. Yeah. Right now I need large Titanite shards for my Claymore because it's above the total, but the rest should take shards unless there's some sort of like extra bit to it. Those can be upgraded, talismans, shields, your typical stuff. Another thing, each shield and pretty much every weapon has a skill that goes with it, and sometimes they have extra effects. For example, I don't know if any of these will really do it. Actually, these ones do have buffs. You have a basic parry. Offer relatively high magic absorption, that's pretty good. Parry, blah blah blah. Wind shields are light, offer highly... See, this one's metal. Orthodox round shield, small shields, damage absorption, stability, lightweight, ideal for parrying. Some of these will have exceptional fire absorption and different magics. Some of them will actually regen stamina. Whenever you get an infused weapon, you're gonna go ahead, you're gonna select a weapon, even one that you've upgraded, maybe you haven't, and you're going to use a gem to change the damage. So if I use a refined gem, it's going to change my scaling for my strength and my dexterity both to a C. And it's going to actually, well, it's going to deduct points because it's going to be losing stability, and while it scales differently, you know, because my dexterity is so low, it's going to go down. It's weird how it works out. Whenever you go with a raw gem, it looks like it keeps the scaling the same. It lowers your guard absorption, and I guess, let's see, if we do, it pretty much combines your additional stat damage with the weapon. The fire gem just changes it to fire damage, and instead you'll scale to intelligence, I think. No, it just turns into fire damage and it lessens it. I do not recommend actually infusing weapons, but play around with them, definitely. Your equipment actually does take damage whenever you die, whenever you hit some sort of corrosive patch. You can allot your S's. You've seen me do this in the first episode. I decide how many Ashen S's, how many actual S's I want. Reinforced S's flask, that's just adding an extra one.
Be careful.
So let's take a quick look at pyromancies. I did actually wait until now to go ahead and pull this out of my ass because... Is that Grey Rat? Hey, Grey Rat's back. Wait, did I ever send him to leave? No, he should be curled up right now. Let's learn this.
Heavens, she was already dead.
Cry. Cry your eyes out. Ooh, that's good. Those are good tears. But yeah, basically, pyromancy works through attunement. That top bar is going to stay empty for the entirety of my playthrough, but that top item slot in my bottom left-hand corner, that's where your miracles, pyromancies, and spells go. Basically, the more you attune, the more spells you can hold. So instead of just having like one combustion, you can hold a combustion and, let's say, homeward. We saw that in the loading screen. So you could have an attack and you could have an ability to go ahead and transfer back to bonfire.
I wish to express my gratitude for trusting a lowly pyromancer and allowing me to gaze upon this majestic flame.
Yeah, just give me my pyromancy glove.
As promised, I will impart pyromancies to you.
Hand him over, come on.
You need a flame of your own.
Yeah, give it here. There we go, Pyromancy Flame. This is basically a casting tool. Every spell in this game requires a casting tool that will take a weapon slot or an offhand slot. As long as you have that, you can access your miracle spells, blah blah blah.
Careful you don't burn yourself with it.
I think upgrading those actually increases the damage of your... Yeah, you can reinforce the Pyromancy Flame. That basically increases the damage of your casting. So let's see, we can learn pyromancies. Okay. You can hurl a fireball. This tells you the FP cost. And it will also tell you the amount of uses and slots they'll use. So whenever you go into attunement or whatever you need to be able to equip these, it'll have a certain amount of slots that can fill in. So let's say you have 12 slots. This one uses 1 slot. and there may be another one that uses 2. Let's see. There's also an amount of uses. There's an equal part faith and intelligence to be able to use these. Some just require one, but not the other. I don't really have much to give to you.
Not be gone for long. What is a teacher without a pupil?
Oh, that got louder. That's weird. Over here we have the lady selling miracles, I believe. Yeah.
Oh, Champion of Ash. Welcome back.
It's good to see you.
I was not meant to be a firekeeper, but I am honored to serve you beside the bonfire. The gods are ever merciful. My gratitude lies with them and with you.
Well, that's nice.
I am yours now. Your wish is my command.
Stand. Okay, so miracles, they're pretty much the same. There's one big difference between pyromancies and miracles. These are pretty much all faith resistant. They require very little intelligence. And most of the casting tools for miracles are actually melee weapons. They are typically maces and flails. So yeah, use the fuck out of these. Another thing, miracles are mostly healing. Some are offensive, but they're mostly for recovering and traveling.
Have a pleasant journey, Champion of Ash. I pray for your safety.
But yeah, sorceries are mainly attack. Miracles are mostly health and curatives. And whenever you look at pyromancy, it's mostly damage and buffs. So let's go see who else we can talk to. There's no one else really right now that'll give us anything useful, so what I'm going to do is pop open this menu. Okay, so you know that Estus Flask is healing. Embers are basically what allows you to partake in PvP. You got your 2 sets of throwing knives. You can also get them poisoned and electrified. You have your repair powder. Repairs equipped weapons and armor. Temporarily boost fire damage. You got your fire bombs. You got your green blossom, which regenerates stamina. You got your undead bone shard. You burn this, and it will increase Estus recovery, whatever the fuck that means. Your charcoal pine resin applies fire to a right-handed weapon. You also have this, which does it faster. Gold pine resin, electricity, human pine resin, applies dark. Alluring skulls, you'll usually see enemies gathered around these. And basically it's kind of signifying what it does. It attracts certain types of enemies. You've seen me, well actually you haven't seen me use an undead hunter charm, or Lloyd's talisman, which they are supposed to be fucking called. Yeah, it prevents Estus recovery within limited area, but also if you're fighting, let's say, a mimic, the mimic will rise up after you get your initial swing for suspecting it. Whenever you can lock on, toss this at it, it'll go back to sleep. You can just pull the item out of its mouth. I think I said this before. What's the coins in order to get more items? This specific branch is special. As long as you hold this, the giant won't fire at you. If you use this one, it will fire at you no matter how many of these motherfuckers you have. These ones, though, will allow you to transform into something in your environment, which I will show you right now. And I am a tombstone. We have rubbish, completely useless. You got your dark sign, so in case you get stuck, you lose your souls and return to the bonfire, it's fine. It just sends you back. Binoculars, seeing things far away. I've used Homeward Bones. You know what hard souls are. These pale tongues are whenever you... I had a brain fart for a bit. Whenever you enter into PvP as an invader, killing the hosts will give you a pale tongue. Many of the PvP or PvE-oriented covenants will give you some sort of reward that you turn over to the leader of your covenant for rewards. White Sign Soapstone, I use to get summoned in to fight bosses. I help people farm them. Black Separation Crystal, banish a phantom or return to your own world. Cracked red eye orbs for invading, and over here you have a way of white circle, restore the link to another world. So here are your basic gems and like upgradables. We have our keys thus far. We go over here, you have your basic weapons. Actually, now's a good time to talk about skills. Whenever you hear me say stance, I'm referring to most of these swords. Most of these swords have a straight stance, which will combo in a specific way. Some will give you a war cry buff, some will do a different stance, some will actually launch magic projectiles if you have enough intelligence, some will pierce shields, actually spears you can attack while blocking, which is pretty fucking OP. Some of them will allow you to charge, some allow you to like spin in circles, dealing massive damage. It's very interesting, although ranged items do not have a stance, unfortunately. Well, actually, I wouldn't say even these have stances, but some of them do have specific skills, like Shield Bash. That's an attack all its own. If you were to add some sort of magic shield with some sort of spell on it, it would probably fire it from the shield. You have your basic equipment, you see me fuck with this shit all the time. Projectiles, you have your rings. Rings do have their own little bit of weight, but basically they all have their special effects. Here, I like this one because I like boosting my recovery speed. This gives bleed resistance. This one, you know, I talked about this one, questioned whether increasing the amount that you could wear and lowering the percentage of weight that it takes off you would actually increase your armor. Fire Clutch Ring, depicting hand grasping red stone, increases fire attack, but compromises damage absorption. Large red tearstone jewel, temporarily boosts damage, absorbs when HP is low. The Ring of Sacrifice, basically you wear it, if you die with it on, the ring breaks, but you don't lose your souls. You do lose your ember though, so remember that. Recovers HP with successive attacks. Make sure to look over each detail of each bit of equipment and figure out what's going on. Here are the covenants we can join right now, as long as we equip them. I love being a warrior of sunlight. I've been one in every single Dark Souls. Here we have the Way of the Blue. I think the Way of the Blue summons in blue phantoms to help whenever you get invaded. Pale blue sheepskin parchment featuring an illusion of moon. Members of the Way of the Blue are factories of nature and core when dark spirit threat. Yeah. So this is a nice one to have. Mound makers, basically your insane phantoms. Take a look at other channels if, or actually, specifically, I'd say Sunlight Blade. He screws around with this covenant a bit. He's got a few funny videos on it. So that should probably sum up these items. Let's take a look at... Actually, no, let's use those souls. Let's go ahead and use these. Just to see how much I'm actually carrying. Use you. And use you. Boop. Alright, so I actually have 12,000. Let's burn this bone shard. I think so. This will give me Estus Flask +1. Yeah. Whatever the fuck that does. I think it increases the amount that I actually heal. So let's go ahead and level up.
Very well. Then touch the take nourishment.
Okay. Now let me take a moment to explain the skills since I haven't really done that. Vigor is your base HP, and it's also pretty much increases the majority of your resistances, both physical and magical. You have your attunement, which I think it increases the amount... No, it doesn't. The attunement is basically just the amount of focus points you have. Endurance, stamina, and resistance. Vitality, resistance, and overall equip load. Strength, mostly resistance and the damage of your right hand weapon. Dexterity, damage of the weapon, specific resistance. Intelligence, I think, is what boosts your attunement slots. Wait, is it intelligence or is it actually attunement? I don't think either of those are boosting my slots. No, neither of those are boosting my slots. So I guess you have to actually upgrade a weapon to get attuned slots upgraded. But intelligence is basically, you know, a different type of damage stat. It increases damage, increases resistance. Got your faith, same thing as intelligence. Luck is the special one. It increases item discovery and resistance. So this is something to screw with if you're looking for extra items. So how many levels do I get? 2? Yeah, I get 2 levels. I'm wanting vigor, and I'm wanting strength. Yeah, let's go ahead and confirm this. My Halloween is only level 1. Let's visit our good friend and see if we can change that. Let's see if we can get it away from level 1. Bring it up to maybe level 2 or 3. And the dog's barking.
I would do...
Purchase items. Seriously, dude, get off my dick. Oh yeah, he sells sorceries, I think. Yeah, these are sorceries that are imbued with weapons.
Be safe.
How many Pale Tongues do I have? I have only the one. I guess I could invade some worlds and try to get some more, but I think what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna do some off-screen farming and go over other areas and, well, not really other areas in the game, just basically go back to where I was, see if I can get extra equipment, maybe some more embers, maybe some more titanite, and just kind of take a moment to fuck around by myself.
Hasn't it been some time? I'm Leonard, the Ringfinger. Remember me? I slipped you those red eyes some time ago.
Yeah.
You're making quite an effort of it, so I thought you might like to know. If you yearn for a proper red-eye orb, one that is uncracked, then kill the Dickwraith, survivor of the land swallowed by darkness.
Oh.
He has been a prisoner for many ages in the deepest cell in all Lothric. I can see it in your eyes. If you didn't invade, didn't pillage, whatever would you do?
That is not the look in my eyes. The look in my eyes is actually more along the lines of, You know what, let's fight this fucking Wraith. Let's kill this fucking Wraith and end the video. Let's actually get some combat going. The just normal red-eye orb will actually allow you to infinitely invade. It doesn't have any cooldowns or anything like that, and it doesn't really screw you over whenever, you know, you consume it. It doesn't get consumed, it stays. So we should have a decent amount of health and damage when it comes to fighting this guy. I've fought him with lower stuff. But yeah, no, this should be a piece of cake. Well, not really a piece of cake, but, you know, something. It should be a piece of shit. That's what it is. It's a fucking piece of shit. Ooh, Drickblood Helm. That looks pretty fucking cool, actually. I might get that. High Wall of Lothric. So, remember that locked door I motioned to in a previous video? Actually, probably like 4 or 5 parts ago. Yeah, there you go. That's where we need to go. That's where he lives. Hey, buddy. Nah, I didn't forget you. See, it's gonna be right down here, isn't it? Yep. And yeah, you can see most of these guys are freaking jokes now. 2 and a 3. I'm a little concerned about that taking 3 swings, but hopefully this won't be too bad. Hopefully we'll do just fine. Oh, Spin, what the hell did you get yourself into? Look at you. This, why do you put yourself in these situations? You need to think about that. Hey, Mr. Dickwraith, how's it going? Oh, god damn. Yeah, these guys, they got some fucking poise. I'm not gonna fucking lie. Oh, god damn. I'm gonna fucking kill you, I'm gonna fucking cook you, and then I'm gonna fucking eat you. Bastard. Who's good? Oh, and I also got his mask. Well then, in that case, when in Rome. Booga booga booga! Like, comment, subscribe, keep on keeping on. I'll see you in the next video where I'll probably just be chilling at Firelink Shrine after, yeah, probably be chilling at Firelink Shrine after a little bit of farming, so take care.